Well, hello to everybody on the internet, and very welcome back to the things I do in EVE Online, guys. And I'm finally there in Bahrum. As you can see, I am planning to run some T1 Abyss, T0 Abyss out here, and I have a safe spot, if you will. Now, if you can Google how to make a safe spot, but technically you are just trying to kind of fly between 2 points and drop a safe spot in between them, you know, as far as possible from the other things. Anyway, your abyssal trace can be seen on the overview once you open it, and people can approach it, but they cannot jump into it if they're not in a fleet with you. Now, every type of abyss has like 6 tiers, but for every tier you can fly it in 3 variations, you know, with frigates, 3 frigates, 2 destroyers or 1 cruiser. At least at the moment of the recording of this video. That might change in the future, and there might be other options, but anyway, you can Google how to make that, or you can just press Ctrl B and you can watch your solar map and drop a point somewhere in between 2 points, you know, in space technically, and that's how you make them. Now, if you want to kind of have an easy access to that, because let's say you will have to dock, especially if you fly some of the frigates early on, especially day 1, you will have to dock after every run. So if you go in your personal's location, and then there is the location in backroom maps, there is a shortcut for this window by default, but not for this one. So you can kind of have this somewhere on your overview and on your UI, and you can right click and warp to it straight out of the station, instead of going right click locations and then spot in backroom map. Now, if you have more spots and you want to kind of, let's say, a designated one for something that you can find it easily, you can go on edit location, and whatever the name is, you can drop into exclamation marks, and it should be always on the top, you know, it should be first, you know. I don't know why the exclamation marks are on the top, but they are on the top anyway, you know. So another tip, if you want to use it or not, it's up to you guys. It makes no difference. Now, the first thing that we have to do is find ourselves in the corp chat window. Here is the easiest. You can find yourself in local 2, you know, and right click on your portrait and form a fleet, and it will form a fleet with yourself only in it. Now, I usually drop my fleet command tab, if you will, when I'm by myself into my chat as well, so it's out of the way. And I usually stay in my corp chat, or I turn it off together. Now, I'm not gonna need the personal access until I come out, but I'm gonna still let them stay there. It's no biggie, you know. So after that, there was probably a timer here of session change or whatever it's called. I forgot it. I think it's 60 seconds or something. You can try and use your filaments or activate them, and then you have to pick from the drop down 2 destroyers. Otherwise, it's not gonna let you. It defaults on cruiser, I think, when there is no other pilots in the fleet as well. I think that's the idea behind it. Now, you have 20 minutes to finish the site. If you don't finish it in 20 minutes, you're gonna lose the ship and the pod. Now, if you want to learn more about the different weather types in the abyss, sorry, I cannot press the help button there. You can go in exploration. No, sorry, that's Triglavian space. Where it was? Here in encounters, and then you can read what I just told you. You see, you need 2 filaments for the destroyers, 3 filaments for the frigates, and 1 filament for the cruiser. Now, one thing that I also kinda didn't realize I found the ships is the Skybreaker. Here we go. And he will be tanking on shield, so Yeah, thermal damage will work as well, and I have the Inferno rocket. The Inferno missile blueprint researched on one of my alts. I don't remember who has it now. I have to pull it out, and that is much cheaper to produce. So you might kinda want to bring some Inferno rockets as well for some thermal damage. It will work, and it might be slightly cheaper than the Mjolnir, for example. As you can see, we cannot shoot this guy with the kinetic probably. I mean, it will do it, but it's gonna take a bit longer. It will definitely do it, in my opinion, because we also have about 40% increase in DPS. But in his case, I think the Mjolnir is better. We're gonna have to test it, to be honest. And that's about it, guys. I don't know, the Edencom guy, sorry, the pacifier. The pacifier, I think he has a flat one. Yeah, as you can see, I kinda had to remind myself how they're called. I forgot a lot of stuff as well. Names, I'm horrible with names. By default, man. As you can see, he has flat resistances, so he will kinda, it doesn't matter where he tanks, you can use whatever you want on it, and in our case the kinetic damage is the better. And I cannot find the Sunshine Hunter out here. We can kinda check his kinda conditions once we are inside the beast, but you can kinda use the info button. I better kinda make this smaller a bit so we can see it. And I think that's it. Yeah, another important thing, if you train the thermodynamics so you can overload the modules, make sure that this is not locked. Local overload state. Now there is a shortcut, I think it's Control 3. Let me just check that. Yep, there you go, and he lights up. And to turn it off, you can press again and it will turn off. I think that's safer than trying to kinda press this. It will do the same thing, and you can press here as well on the edge of the module kind of thing. And one more thing that I kind of missed in the previous video, I will fix it there too. When you go over the missile launcher here, it will tell you how many rockets there is. Light missiles loaded. In our case, it's 40. It's actually saying 40 scores light missiles. And somehow I missed it in the whole shebang of mine. Now I'm going to activate this, and you cannot activate any modules now. When we land in the first pocket, we're gonna be stationary. We're not gonna move, but when we take the second gate, we're gonna be moving towards the next gate straight away. So, but this is very straightforward. As soon as I come in, I'm gonna turn this mode on and the prop mode on. And I didn't check. Am I kept stable? Am I kept stable? Yes, I'm kept stable. And we got the hunter. So now we can orbit this, let's say, at 20 kilometers. You can increase it, even 25 will do, because we have a range of 44. And we can start shooting, but we better kinda go to Mjolnir. And let's try the normal ones. It will be nice to kinda use the Caldari Navy, but let's see how this will fare, you know. And one more thing that I usually do is split this and then group them individually. And now I'm joking, you know, and I'm going to end up regretting this, God forbid. But I think we should pull range on him, and then we will be safe. There we go. And we're only shooting with half of our launchers, you know, because I'm kinda overthinking stuff. And nope, we are not very safe, if you ask me. He's still hitting us quite nicely, my goodness me. But there we go. We should have maybe orbited 35, in all honesty, and that might have helped. But I think we're gonna survive. It takes a long time for this to recharge on its own. As you remember, we are at 13 HP per second, but once we kinda take his shield, he's done. So I have to kinda move this away so I can organize my thingies. Now I can approach this biocombinative cache, and I want to kinda keep grouping these guys. Alright, so I want now... No, I can change to kinetic, to be honest. I mean, the kinetic, there is a better chance that I will bump into something that I can shoot with kinetic missiles rather than Mjolnir. And I don't even notice if I loaded on all of them Mjolnir or EM missiles. So I won't scorch. And the single one, you can kinda pop the biocombinative cache as soon as it's in range, come and loot it and then go to the door straight away. You don't have to kinda fiddle around and wait for that to kinda to reach him so you can pop him. And there we go, our very first loot. And we got about 670 ISK according to ETH and the estimated price. So now we're gonna jump into the next pocket. I could have waited a bit longer. As you can see, we're in here for what, 3 minutes, and this is with me kind of goofing around and panicking because, and there we go, another hunter. And then I can orbit at 30, for example, this time around, and see how it's gonna go. And as you can see, the normal missiles will take him down. The Caldari light missiles, sorry, the Caldari Mjolnir will take him down a bit faster. And that's about it. But as you can see, above 20 kilometers we are fine. But because I'm pressing orbit on the thing, at some point he is much closer than I want him to be, you know, generally speaking. And technically I should be, by all means, shooting with everything on him rather than goofing around and shooting the can, you know, because it's not important to me. I'm not gonna lose on time, but there you go. He's doing quite a lot of damage to us. Now if we are unlucky and drop on the Skybreaker in the next one, it might be a lot of fun. And at this point you can see that manual piloting, you know, might be very, very nice, if you will, you know, and you can kind of run away from him manually and maybe keep him at range. But the abyssal pockets have a range, or they're like an arena, you know, and there is a red wall. Once you approach that red wall, you're gonna see him. Usually if you are going further away from the conduit, the transfer conduit, you know, you should maybe turn around and watch away or in the direction that you are moving, so you can notice the wall sooner. If you fly outside that wall, the environment will start doing a lot of damage to you, and you cannot survive that for very long. You know, there is a chance that you can survive, you know, for a tick or two, but after that, you're gonna lose your ship, you know, if you stay too long outside. I didn't notice what was the value of that loot, but we had 6 Tranquil Darks, so we got another 2, which is quite nice. And we can do Caldari here, sorry, Scorchlight here as well. And we recovered quite a lot of our shield. It's not a big deal, you know, as you can see. Even if it's 13 HP, it's still kinda going up. So we have a bit of a loot there. 3.8 millions, as much as our kinda, how do you call it, my Kernit field, if you will. And so far, you know, in those items that we no, all 8 are. So there we go, 1.4 million, sorry guys. But look at the timer, it's kinda 6 minutes or what? Sorry, not 6 minutes, but 4 minutes? No, I'm lying. Yeah, it's about 6 minutes so far. You can do it faster, you can do it in 5 probably as well. It's no bother, and that's the wrong thing to do. And as you can see, you can even split your launchers half and half, if you will, and then only fire off 1 volley on the little cache, you know, out there, so you don't really have to worry about it. But again, this is the lazy man way of doing the T0 Abyss, you know. And now the different weather types of the Abyss will provide a different penalties, if you will, and bonuses. And I went too far and I forgot to kind of loot my thingy, so I'll go back. Now the dark, as you can see, is giving minus 30% to turret optimal and fall of range, and plus 50% velocity bonus. But since we don't really have any skills invested in navigation apart from the starting one, you know, another 500,000 ISK. So we should be sitting around 2 million maybe, or so, roughly. 1.6 million in the red loot. And that's another thing. The abyss is done, guys, technically. So, sorry, I kinda get carried away. I'm checking the time half the time. So yeah, 1.6 million. I was talking about the loot, yeah. The survey database is referred as the red loot, if you will. And this is the only thing that is certain in price. So when you sell this, you're gonna get the same amount of whisk for it, but you have to go to a dead station, DED station, and you have to find them, and they will be around 100 ISK buy orders from the NPCs, and you just have to kind of reduce your taxes on it. And I don't think that you can increase your standing. Once we come out now, we can check again if there is any, how do you call it, any reduction in price. Now I'm taking a different approach, but I would still like to kind of capture maybe a print screen or two, you know. It might be nice. And that's me, guys. So now we're gonna jump and do another one straight out of the gate, because I don't think that we can lose this ship technically. The Skybreaker is the only thing that it could kind of cause us any real issues. That's something that we might not be able to shoot down, if you will. So you might kind of come prepared and load your best missiles for him and or her, and then reload if you have an easier target, you know. So as you can see, the hunters are doing us quite a lot of damage, so we can just reload to Mjolnir and call it a day, you know, and start like that, because you have time to kind of wait here. There is a bit of a timer, you know, with the unable to tether, and that thing needs to expire. And as soon as that is expired, you have to move the ship, so this starts kind of ticking down as well. Whatever this unable to tether it's called. Otherwise, I don't know any other name for it at this point. And now you can, if you don't move, it's gonna last longer. That way it's 20 seconds, and if you don't move, it's a bit longer than what the trace is going to last for. You cannot open another abyss next to that trace. You have to be 1,000 kilometers away or something. And now we have a Lucid escort, which is quite easy, and we can reload to Scorch Light missiles, no bother. We cannot target that either, and we can press the info button here. And as you can see, he's a drifter, I think. Yep, he's a drifter, and it doesn't matter. As you can see, you can shoot him with whatever you want. It makes no difference, you know. You can bring whatever things you want. And we're gonna shoot that down as well, the cache on the way down. Now if you want to save your missiles, you have to count the volleys that you need to kill him, you know, the escort guy. And he's doing far less damage to us, because, you know, maybe he can hit as hard as the, how do you call it, as hard as the hunter. But if you go on your fitting window, you will see that we have a big hole on the the EM shield resistance. We have 0 technically at this point. So we might consider changing one of our defense field extenders for... Oh yeah, I have 0 because I didn't even turn off my modules, guys. And yeah, we have 27. I mean, it might be fine to kind of maybe put an EM rig here, EM reinforcer, you know, rig. So that might bump it up to 40-50%, whatever it's going to be, you know. But I'm not really sure how it's gonna fare. Will it be better? Probably. I don't know. This fit works for definitely. If we go to simulate this and destroy this rig and then find type from here, and it will... oh, look, we have 2.5 million in one container apparently. Yeah, this guy is kinda bumping us up quite a lot. So we need EM shield reinforcer, and we can drop it in, and we have 46%. So that might be far smarter than what I'm doing, but we have to put it to test, because we are losing again shield HP and recharge, the recharge rate will drop as well to 10 or something, if I'm not mistaken. That's what I noticed. 10 HP per tick, you know, per second. These guys are very easy, like the last time. Oops, sorry, that was the wrong target. So now we can we probably killed it with one volley, as you can see. Now when you have the tier 1 missiles, it's no bother. And as you can see, in this case, maybe it's nice to split them launchers in half and you can get these guys done a bit faster. But they're doing explosive? No, kinetic. No, explosive, sorry. So again, our fitting window 64 explosive resistance, so therefore they're doing far less damage than the other guys. Damn guys are very scary. So if you want to fly, for example, electrical abyss, you know, I don't think that you're gonna fare very well into it. You're gonna have 0 EM resistance. And yes, the NPCs will have a reduced EM resistance too, and then you're gonna lose the kinetic bonus as well, because you would probably like to shoot EM missiles in the electrical, and it might not be the best idea. But he can do it. I mean, the Corax can do it. He can definitely do it. Now if you're focused and you're doing this appropriately, oh, this can be nasty as well. So we can orbit this at current even, if you will, and let him kinda, if you press current, you cannot fly out of the abyss, but that means only if you don't have a cloud. Now the short range deviant automata guys will kill our missiles. Now he's a drifter too, so he will have flat resistances as well, but he has quite a lot of HP. As you can see, there is no point of us trying to orbit at 52 kilometers because we are not really getting much out of it. And he's shooting all sorts of omni damage at us. You can check the damage what he's shooting at us up here. As you can see, he is predominantly doing EM and thermal. And we don't have any EM resistance, and the thermal is our lowest. So we can just fire off and go to the cache, but he will do a bit of damage. Now these guys will kill our rockets. Technically they are doing damage to rockets and drones. So the further the rocket has to fly from you to the target and cross that field, you know, the more damage the thing is doing, and technically your rocket is dead before it hits your target. Now the short range has only 20 kilometers of range and is do the strongest damage. Then you have a medium and a large one. I think the medium is 40 and the large one is 60 kilometer radius. Don't quote me on it, we can check it in all honesty, but it might kinda says here. Oh no, it does not. It does not. And you can target them and shoot them, but I don't know if it's if you can kill them. I have never tried, there is no point to it. You can just kind of fly off. Now if you happen to kind of be stuck in between two of them, you have to kind of pilot manually, because on this end you have the multi-body tracking pylon, and this is giving them a bonus. It's technically kind of undoing the turret optimal and full of range, or the tracking. It's actually still only applied tracking, if I'm not mistaken, but I'll check for you guys and put it in the caption notes as well, you know, and let you know. It shouldn't kind of be negating this, it should be improving the tracking speed, but still they have to be very close to you to be in optimal, so 30% closer. And there we go, that was the second one, guys. Now we'll see what will happen after we finish the third one. We have room for 4-1, and as you can see, the missiles that I brought is an overkill for 3 sides, as you can notice, but we can kind of reload the Mjolnir and we'll see how we're gonna fare. We might bring some Caldari Navy Inferno for next time. They might be a bit cheaper. And yeah, again, only this is certain, guys. My goal is to kind of check how many runs I will need now to... Oh, again I have 6. I can run indefinitely today, or indefinite amount of abyss sites by the looks of it. And you have to go back if you keep moving. If you're like me, the abyss trace, you have to activate it manually. And if you're not in a cruiser, you know, if you're in a cruiser, there comes the first Reglavian. We can just go for it, if you will, for the cache, and shoot him down too, the Damavik. And we can change the rockets as well. We can shoot 1 or 2 of those. The Scorch missile will do fine for him. Let's turn on our modes, don't forget. Mods, sorry. The prop mod and the Multispectrum shield hardener. And now we can start shooting him, or we could have a second ago, if I am not sleeping on the wheel. This is site number 3. And now I can go and grab that. Because if you orbit something and you kill it, your ship is going to drift off. The best way to kind of do the abyss is always kind of approach something, generally speaking. But you cannot stand still, so you want to orbit. And the safest way to do it is to orbit the transfer conduit, if you will. And I'm shooting with 1 launcher less, and I'm shooting with the wrong missiles too. But as you can see, the kinetic is gonna do fine. In our case, Inferno is better, Explosive is better because he's tanking on armor, but we will still get them. So if you carry Inferno, it will do nicely for them. Explosive will do nicely too, you know, but I'm thinking we have 40% bonus on kinetic damage. I think we are kinda okay with the kinetic, it's no bother, considering how much bonus we are getting just from the ship alone, you know. I don't think it's necessary to swap here. It's 4 and 27%, and we are doing 40 more, so I mean it's 20% less, more damage with the explosive, but then you have to carry explosive as well. Explosive missiles, that is, with you. Is it worth it? I'm not really sure. You have to make your own decision. So there was no point of orbiting this at 50 or at current, because he can reach us, as you can see. And now I can change this to Scorch Light as well. Let's pop that off for 1 cycle. These cycles are quite long, you know. While the Corax is having 7 launchers, you know, the rate of fire is very slow, in all honesty, you know what I mean, or fairly slow. It would have been nice if he started a bit faster. And as you can see, we cannot even spend one lot of ammunition per room, probably, you know. I'm playing and swapping them around, but I think 40 missiles will probably suffice for the whole site. Guys, you can also consider doing a fit with a micro warp drive, but probably put some skills into the navigation stuff as well, so you can kind of afford to fit it, and for your cap to kind of be able to sustain it as well. But I don't know, I don't feel like I'm going to be flying through this because of my Afterburner being swapped with a micro warp drive, you know. I don't think it's gonna save me a lot of time, you know. The Afterburner is doing just fine, you know. If you're having a bit more problems with the fit, you can always swap to the, how do you call it, to the YS8 or whatever it was, you know, the Afterburner with an easier fitting, if you will. Now go pick that up variation. Yeah, Y-S8. Sorry guys, I always forget them. And you can maybe kinda adjust your feet that way. But it's gonna use a bit more capacitor, so bear that in mind as well. Don't make yourself cap unstable for the Abyss if you don't have to, you know, if it's not a must. But generally speaking, if you have a ship that is not cap stable, it's still not a bother. You just have to kind of selectively repair your shields or armors, you know, and you might have to turn off your prop mode as well at the times. But you never turn off your hardeners. If they are shield or armor hardeners, whatever you have active. Usually you won't fly ships with active armor hardeners. There is only one reactive armor hardener that is kinda doing building up resistances for the types that you're being shot with. For example, if the thing starts with 15% flat, and if the enemy is doing EM and explosive, then it will cycle all the way to 60%. But again, that all depends on the damage that they're doing as well. So if they're doing more, how do you call it, more EM, then that hardener will kinda build up more EM resistance for you, and it's a nice module, you know. It gives the small ships to kinda do something. They stand a chance, you know, the ships that have less low slots for the armor. But again, if it's full of options and things to do, and I'm not gonna reload now, I'll probably reload once we're done with this room. And I don't know which side is this, number 4? I think we can goof around, we can afford to goof around, and I can just approach that thing and pop it when I'm there. You know, it's not a big deal. We can kill him and we don't have to worry about him. So as you can see, we are kind of filling this up as well at the moment, you know. So, and the level 2 agent mission work there. I already completed 3, as you can see, for my dailies. What else we are doing? Opportunities. I don't know why it's keep popping up. I'm confused about it. I don't really know. I'm not really sure. So I wanted to kind of open the inventory, and I think I can. You can kind of filter this out with the filters. If you come here and show sidebar, and you can make your own custom filter, and I think there might be a filter already there, but you can kind of start building the filters yourself if you will. But I usually don't bother with the blueprints because it cannot give you an estimate. So I just select what I have here, you know. And now at this point we can include the Tranquil Darks as well, because we flight our 6, so these are bonus. You know, we flight 3 sides, this is number 4, another million ISK. But again guys, don't buy into the estimate here, you know, the estimate, you know how it goes. By the time you get to market, it's gonna be a different price, you know. So this is the only thing that is certain. So we have what, 4.3 millions ISK minus the taxes, you know. That's definitely certain. I should have reload, but I didn't, so my bad. And reloading to the, you know, to the ammo that you might kinda need, you know, just in case, you know, the worst enemy shows up. It's a good practice, guys. For example, once you start flying 2T fits, you know, you're gonna have access to the Javelin rockets, you know, Javelin Inferno or Javelin Scorch, and they will give you even more range. And if you can lock the target, you know, from further away and start shooting straight away, it's a good tactic as well, especially if it's dangerous to you. So bear that in mind. The sooner you start shooting, the better. This is another drifter, guys, so as you can see. But this is the T0 Abyss, you know. This is the loot, the loop, sorry, if you will. The only person that didn't show up is the Skybreaker so far, or the pacifist. There we go, another 600k apparently, and so on and so forth. Now, because I have the sidebar, it will not collapse automatically when I loot all, you know. Oops, I better stop and reload my rockets at least. I can do that. Now you can fly ships that can reload faster as well in the Abyss, and that will be handy enough, but let's see. I mean, I don't know, this is the lazy way, man. Abyss, if you will, guys. Definitely the lazy man way for the T-Zeros. Another Damavik, nothing to worry about. So we can shoot this a couple of times, so we don't have to wait for it. I think that will be enough. I think he should be gone. There we go. He be gone, and we can go loot. We can put this on the Damavik, and so on and so forth. I don't think it's necessary to change your missiles to Mjolnir straight away, because I don't think it's that dangerous at this point. It's smooth sailing from now on. So yeah, this is providing you with, let's say, an activity if you don't want to mine your Kernit field today and you have half an hour. You know, it's a good way to go about it, because as you can see, I need 5 minutes per site, even with the Afterburner fit, you know. Another 500,000 ISK apparently. But yeah, guys, that is it. That's it technically. We have seen it all, and now we can run another two. How do you call it? Darks Tranquil. You know, we was able to go for one more, but we got another one, and you can kind of keep this loop going until you run out of your darks. And for the other sides, you might have to change the fit a bit, guys. He cannot, I mean, the hull can fly all the weathers, but not with this fit probably. Especially maybe not the electrical ones. But then in the electrical, you know, as you learn more about them, they're giving a quite significant boost to your capacity to recharge rate, so you can have maybe an MWD and a small shield booster and still be cap stable, you know. But so far so good, I'm happy with this. Let's do another one, and I'm gonna call it an episode, you know. And I think it's a very nice sample. I'm hoping to kind of catch the Skybreaker as well and see how I will fare. Will I get him, you know, or not? No luck in this room. That's nice. I put my prop mod on and the Hardener, because I cannot tend to forget about them, and these guys will come into range very quickly. So I can just do this maybe. Oh no, I cannot, because I'm shooting. He is saying. Fair enough. And I'm missing that. How many rockets did I spend on that? Oh, and I'm spending Caldari Navy, man. Yeah, that was a mistake. You don't really want to kinda do that. It makes no sense to pay for those rockets. So you can reduce even the rockets that you're bringing, apart from the Scorch. You know, you want at least 1,000 of them, and you can bring maybe 500 of these guys, the rest of them. Let's go with this. We stopped in full because I'm not paying attention again, guys. Now think about it. If you focus on this, you'll probably do all of them in 5 minutes time. And it's not bad, you know. For half an hour you can do maybe not 6 but 5, if you will, you know. 5 runs, and you can get some decent ISK, you know, for starters. And if you do your due diligence and, let's say, go to market and sell everything that you're not gonna need, you might make more risk that way. than keeping it than keeping it in your station. I personally don't really care for the decayed stuff, and I don't need to sell it straight away. But as soon as we come out of the abyss, we can take a look see at the modules, you know, sorry, the multiplasmids. You can adjust, or mutate a module that you own, technically, you know, and the one that we have here is for a 5 meganewtons micro warp drive, and it's gonna work on any of them, even the officers ones. But be aware that these guys are can go both ways, you know, they have positive and negative things, and or bonuses and penalties. So it can swing from plus 20 on the activation cost to minus 15%, and so on and so forth down the list. So you can kind of take a look at it, and then you can play around and see if any of the mods that you need maybe mutated will benefit you and give you a bonus, you know, and you can use that. You can go that way too, but I don't think for the Corax is necessary. And then let's say if you are lucky and roll everything in green, you can probably get some good money, good ISK for it, you know. They can kind of fetch a good price, especially if they're rolling green, which is very unlikely, but still probably there is a chance to catch everything green, you know, but it's probably next to nothing. Same like winning the lottery, I would say. There goes the last room, guys, and I believe this is our site 5, if I'm not mistaken, or number 4. I cannot make up my mind now. We took, how do you call we took enough for 3 rounds, and we are still going, and we can do yet another one. But the video is 45 minutes, and I didn't catch the Skybreaker, so yeah, he's a rare spawn, and the pacifist too, you know. They are very rare, guys. They are going to happen, but yeah, remember, you can overload if you invested some skill points in the thermodynamics, you know. You can overload your modules if the DPS is not enough, but again, as you can see with these guys, we have only 107, and then you have to add up this another 17, so 124? No, yeah, 24. So it might work out, but put up the big rockets then, the expensive missiles, sorry, and you'll be fine. I'm just gonna do a quick tally, and we can check the prices for these multiplasmids on the market to see what the market is saying. And as you can see, these guys are being probably overvalued, because most of them had a very waka market. The buyers want to buy them for 4,000, and the sellers are selling them at 31,000, so they are quite out of whack. You're not gonna fetch maximum price. That's why I only count on these guys. And if we go with the fit now and check our fitting again, our fitting in total is apparently 18.9 millions, you know, because we have everything in here. You have to dock in the station and take off the thing so you can see it again, and I think we're coming close to pay it off, you know. In all honesty, what did we spend? 6.5 millions, if I'm not mistaken, or so. If I go to the wallet, 26 to 20 for the fit, and then we bought some stuff with our own money, right? So 6 for the fit, and another million and something for the, sorry, show info, and then we can see the market. Another 1.5 million roughly for 7.5 million. So yeah, another run or two, and we're gonna pay the ship only from this. The rest of it is kinda a benefit. And there you go, these guys are fetching nice price. But do you have buyers all the time? I don't know. only 8 has been sold yesterday, the day before 8, you know, so you can put them here for 7 millions, but you might not sell them very quickly, you know. But the guys that down here wants to buy them at 700 ISK, so you can make up your mind what you want to do with them. So again, I don't know what the estimate is here. Let's take a look. Yeah, 413, so yeah, he's kinda giving you a medium price from all of this. So bear that in mind. Count only on the red loot. Everything else can be out of whack, but these guys should have more, as you can see, they're a bit more valuable, if you will. Even the buyers are willing to pay more to get them. I mean, the spread is smaller. And there is some volume, as you can see. 12,000, so you can put them on the market and there is a chance you can sell them for a sale. But yeah guys, thanks for staying until the end. I hope it was fun, and I'm sorry that it take a bit or so long to get to it. If you will, we could have done this on day 1, but I feel like we reap the benefits from the fact that we spend time training, we set up our alts, we have a few things going for us, and now you have another asset. You can kind of spend time to build up some ISK by farming these guys and selling, you know, what you're gonna get from the abyss. Things have changed quite a lot. You know, if I tell you, oh, look, I made, let's say, whatever this window is saying, we can ignore the blueprint completely. It's saying 10 millions. And we spend half an hour, so that means 20 million is an hour, but it's unrealistic, you know. It's that's a very unrealistic approach towards things, in my opinion. It's not gonna happen. As you can see, only part of the loot is at estimated price for starters, so count on this. You see what have a bit more value for selling straight to the buyers, for example, if you're tight for cash and you need it, you know, and you can kind of make up your averages from here, you know, not from the total lot. So again, thanks for staying until the end. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I hope I'll see you in the next one. Fly safe, guys.